What's happening, Patreon? Welcome back to... I'm going to have to see what number this is. I think it's 56. I think we're at 56 patrons vlogs only. I'm going to talk to you about that one. In the new YouTube video, I tabbed everything out, but I didn't tab that out. So I'm going to give it to the patrons, the special patrons, because I appreciate it. Before we get into that, let's get into some shout outs. All right, new patrons, this is going to take a while because I haven't done shout outs. So if I miss you, and it's important to you that you get a shout out, I understand. My first Lee Mack shout out meant a lot to me. All right. So just write me and I'll give you a shout out in the next patrons video. So I try to do this twice a month. I think I've done it at least twice a month for a long time. But this is the second one. I usually get one somewhere around the beginning of the month and somewhere around the end. Patrons shout out. Now, here's where I slaughter your last names and sometimes your first name, so I'll do my best. Alan Mahan, shout out. Awesome Alexander Foal, shout out. Steven, I can do that one. Steven, thank you, bro. John Popper, is it that John Popper? Nope, I don't think it is, but it might be, but I don't think it is. John Popper, whichever John Popper you are, thank you. I have another John Popper on Facebook that's not the John Popper. And I like both of you John Poppers. Brian Boughton, thank you, brother. Thomas Broyles, thank you, bro. Alessandro D'Andrea, what a fun name to say, even if I didn't get it right. Thank you, Alessandro. James Sostrich. Sorry, bro. Sarah, right there. Brent Palmatier. Tim Woodville. John Curty-Ka. Thank you, Tim and John and Brent and Sarah. Epoch Paul. I know that name from my YouTubes. Miss Karen Cook, thank you. Revan, thank you, Revan. Nice little Fox profile. Douglas Molin. Michael Pfeiffer, I know I got that one right. You know, you can't know that you got it right. I think I got it right. Bill Markwood, thank you. Chang Ming Sai, thank you, Chang. Robin Shepard, Carl Kowalski, thank you both. Eric Scott Kreplin, Eric Reibel, thank you both. Tom Herzig, shout out to Tom Herzig. Shout out to Vlad Yusel Seth. We're already into August, so I'm getting back there, all right? Raphael Battini, Bam Bam. Shout out to Raphael and Bam Bam. That wasn't just saying Bam Bam. There's a Bam Bam on Patreon now. Charlie Atkinson, Maker's Choice. Thank you both, Charlie and Maker's Choice. Chris Lightning, Ang Lozano Castillo. This one I don't know if I can do. Nering Sarong. Thank you if I'm getting it right. Mr. John, Jim Jam, 37. Thank you, Jim Jam. Mark Sherman, Gree Leslie Leffler, Dominic Why can't I do the Italian ones? Dominic Dierno. I don't know, Dominic. Shout out to you, bro. Ray Melvin, thank you, Ray. one mullet. Thank you. Trevor, Cooper, I think I'm back in July now. Rich Gray, Yaya Yulia, Eleni, Jerry Geel. I used up the whole backing track just doing this. Let's start it over. All right, wait. Anyway, you know what? Maybe the shout outs are getting old. Maybe you guys are like, no, you didn't get to me yet. Maybe you're like, dude, shut up. All right, look. It's good to be back. I'll be honest with you guys, man. I was not feeling making a patrons only video this month. And, it's just because sometimes, you put personal stuff out there, and that's what I do here. And when you do that, you open yourself up for personal attacks. And not even attacks, just comments, And, some of that happened, and that's okay. That's okay. It's okay. I'm okay. But yeah, it made me a little cautious. So anyway, you know what? I'm going to stay a little cautious, and today we're going to do a little harmonica lesson. Okay, so here we go. I'm using the Petty backing tracks. It's called Deep Fried Groove Guitar Backing Track in Mixolydian. Okay, so here's a lick I didn't show you, and I'll tab this out too. I don't normally tab on Patreon, but you guys are going to get it today. So it's going to start with a triplet. We're going to go 4 draw, 3 draw, 4 blow. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So I can do that triplet really kind of like anywhere. Like I could do it on 5. The same form, draw, draw, blow. But let's just go back to the one I'm showing you. 4 draw, 3 draw, 4 blow. So that's our first one, okay? So the next one we're going to learn is the same thing, except we're going to bend 4. Okay, so now we have 2 different triplets. The first one and the second one with the bend 4. So now I'm just going to combine them. So I can do them like I'll do 4 of each. Ready? So 4 of the first one. All right, 4 of the first one. Ready? 1, 2. I'm not sure I'm counting right. Let me try again. It's hard to do that and do it at the same time. So now I'll do 2 of each. Now I'll do 1 of each. Now I'll do random. So down there, I alluded to that in the Patreon video, in the YouTube video, and didn't really elaborate on it. It's the same motion. 2 draw, 1 draw, 2 blow. And then the same thing is up above. Bend that first hole, go down to the other one, and then blow. So 2 double bend, 1 draw, 2 blow. even do it on the 3. And you're wondering how I get it so fast? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, like that, right? I'm double timing it. So, again. Really, really cool. Really, really cool. So anyway, this is these petty music backing tracks. If you haven't been on my Patreon in a while, you might, or you just got here, you might not know about these petty music backing tracks. This guy, his name is Matt Petty, and he lives here in New Orleans, and he makes some of the coolest, most fun, infectious backing tracks that there are. Okay, so, look, I'm going to go back and I'm going to tab all that out and stuff, and let's just talk. Spicy Latin funk in B minor. So I use A harp in 3rd position. I need to tune my A harps, but we'll do the best we can with this one. I love this one. Man, it's a blues, but there's some different changes in it. 5 right there. 4, right, and then it's like, I think that's how it goes. Anyway, yeah. So I could still use some practice on this, go back to the changes and stuff, but yeah, it's beautiful to be alive. As you guys know, I just celebrated 4 years sober. Some of you guys know that. It's not my first time being 4 years sober, and I've been here before, but I never felt like this. And the reason that, you know what, I guess I'm talking about it. The reason that I feel like this, meaning okay, is that I reached a place of complete surrender. That's what the difference was. So what do I mean by that? I mean that I was lucky enough to run out of options, money, and that didn't work, and you know, awards and record labels and touring and articles in magazines and headlining slots, and that didn't work, and a house and sex didn't work, and you know, food doesn't work. You can't tell from looking at me, but that doesn't work. And what worked? So I'm not going to call it by name. I'm not. But I'll tell you what it was. It was an absolute surrender to the idea that I could fix my problems. And that is a sacred, sacred place. And that is the same place that I try to be when I play music. I want to learn everything I can about something. That's important. And I want to learn the rules. But in the end, I have to surrender to what will happen. I have to try to forget everything that I think that I know about that subject so that I may have a new experience, a valuable experience. And it's a process. It's a process. And some days it goes better than others. And I like to want to hold on to what I think I know and what I think will work and what I think is the right thing to do. And every single one of you that has come here has done that. If you're watching these videos, on some level you have surrendered and said, man, help me. Like, if this can help me, I'm willing to listen. If you're willing to listen to this kind of ranting of mine, right? Which I don't think it's ranting. I think this is all about music. I think music is a lot more than just notes and flatted fifths. And I think it's a lot more than just vibrations and frequencies. I think it is a reflection of the world and maybe beyond that we get to live in. And I'm happy to get to live in it. But you can get better at it by knowing a little bit about it. So that's what some people are saying. So let's take a look at these chords. Are they going to give me the chords? They're not, right? So let's just try to figure it out. So that last part I think is just 5. So 1, 4, 1, 5, 1, 4 again, 1, 1, 5, 1. I think that's what it is. So let's try that. That was 4. Yeah. I think so. See, now, I feel like I was playing a lot better there, that I knew a little bit about it. And then the thing is the more I get used to that, the more I get used to those changes coming, the easier it is for me to do fancy and fun stuff. And also to not think about the changes anymore, instead, or think about 2 changes coming up and where I am now. Just stay on the 1 for a second. So you can have one note do 2 different important things on 3 different changes or 2 different changes. Very cool. All right, I'm going to keep it short and sweet, y'all. I ain't going to have no long Patreon lesson. I wanted to give you those licks. I wanted to give the patrons the licks that you didn't get on YouTube because you guys deserve it. I appreciate it. A lot of people have been asking, how do I up my pledge? And what I did was I just Googled it, and then I copied and pasted it, and I sent it to you. And it looked like harder than it is, but basically you just go to like your Patreon, your profile, and it'll show you your pledges, and it'll show you how to increase them. But feel free to write me in the messages. I do get back to everybody always. Sometimes it takes a long time. If it's urgent, you can email me at jasonricci1@gmail.com, and I appreciate you very much. Let me play a little more. I'll show you what I've been working on. It's embarrassing, right? But I'll show you. Well, maybe it's not embarrassing. Let's see if I can do it. Softly as in a morning sunrise. Let's see how bad I do. See, there's the intro, right? Hey. Yeah. Lots of room for improvement. But yeah, learning new things is a wonderful thing. You know, the first time I put that up, I'll tell you what happened. somebody wrote, one of these commenters, that one of these people that comments that has no videos up, no videos, nothing up at all, right? And he said something like, "Oh, great, a beginner jazz player," or something. And yeah. So what? Yeah, like, am I pretending to be an authority? No, I'm still trying to learn new stuff, right? And that's what I was trying to tell you guys in the video, the YouTube video, the Free Friday that came out today, is it's okay to be where we're at. And I've been working on that song now for a few months really hard, and I learned it a few years ago. And I'm still not even close to where I want to be, but I'm really having fun getting better every day. And that doesn't mean that I don't, when I say fun, it doesn't mean that I don't go through periods of frustration, but it's fun to feel that those periods of frustration were beneficial. Like what was hard a couple of days ago is not as hard today. And in some cases, the hardest parts become the most fun parts to play later. So it's exciting and it's wonderful and it's okay, and it's this process of growth that we're in. And I think when I talked about surrender earlier, I'm saying I want to surrender to the fact that I'm always open to new things. And that's why sometimes when people say stuff, it bothers me, is because it bothers me because I'm listening and I'm open. But at the same time, I also know that there are certain things I don't do, and one of those things that I don't do is tell other people what I think they should do. And I also definitely don't tell people what I think other things think they should do. That's just me. I try to live a life by example, because quite enough comes out of my mouth. I say a lot of things, and if I'm not living those things, then what am I? I'm just what do they call it? A talking head. And I'm not a YouTuber, guys. I'm a professional harmonica player. And that's a very lowly thing to be. I say that jokingly. I'm proud of what I am. I'm proud of how far I've come. I'm proud of who I am as a person. And it took a lot for me to be able to look you in the eye and say that. And that didn't come from reading a book. And it didn't even come from listening to other people. It came from grace. And what I mean by that is that I made a lot of decisions that were dumb, and some that were smart too. Some that were just from the heart, and some that were just from here. And I was lucky enough to live through those decisions, because some of them were extreme. And I'm still here to talk about that. And what happened is I ran out of ideas. I ran out of ideas for me about how I think things should go and how I think things should happen. And the moment that I ran out of those ideas, I reached a real place of surrender. And that's where I want to stay. So I'm not real hip to subscribing to politics or religions or ways of thought. I think there's nothing wrong with them, and I think if you do, I think that's fine. But for me personally, I like to listen to all of those things, but until I really know, I'm not going to talk about it. What can I talk about that I know? I know a little bit about scales. I know a little bit about chord structure. I know a lot about how frustrating this thing can be. And I want you to be good to yourselves and kind to yourselves, and I want you to be patient, and I want you to get frustrated, and I do want you to get angry at it sometimes, but I don't want you to get frustrated or angry at it for long. I want you to put it down when it gets hard and pick it up, knowing that getting hard is part of what makes it fun. Look at every game in the world, look like the game Simon. What does it do? It gets faster and faster and harder and harder. The faster it gets, the harder it is, the more fun it is. Just like life. I'm hanging in there. Just like y'all, right? Just like y'all. Thank you. Love you. Patreon. Appreciate it.